Hey guys, welcome to Vulnerable Mondays with Mel. And today it is actually Monday. I am in a very different feeling than I was last week. For one, last week I did my Vulnerable Mondays on a Tuesday. I was very much in my feelings. I was very emotional all week. All week. I was extremely emotional. Everything was getting to me. Every little thing was getting to me. I mean, even down to like the smallest detail that shouldn't mean much to me. I was watching Lego Masters Season 1 with my daughter, and we were finishing the finale, and I started crying. Don't know why, just all in my emotions. Couldn't control them. And I was just in this very vulnerable state all last week. And there's a few things I learned about myself that I needed to take care of to move forward. One, my mental state is also my health state. So what has changed in my diet recently that's going to affect me mentally? Well, a lot of things have. It was the holidays, a lot of sugars, a lot of alcohol. Yeah. And a lot of foods I usually don't eat. So I was just now getting back into the swing of things in my lifestyle to get back on the healthy diet. My smoothies, my yogurts, my probiotics, my prebiotics, my supplements. I was just getting back into a groove again of like taking everything, like really being an adult about it. Because during the holiday season, did I take my supplements every day? Absolutely not. Was I tired all the time? 100%. Was I extremely busy and it was extremely chaotic? 100%. And I didn't take what I needed to keep myself going, mainly because I was like, oh, I'm on vacation with my kid. Which is an awful thing to say because that's not what we should be doing. I mean, if anything, if we're on vacation, we also should still be thinking about our health at the same time. Like, we're on vacation, but for us to keep going, we really should be taking our supplements and having our smoothies. Not for me. For some reason in my head, I was in this space of like, no, I'm on vacation. It's the holidays. And I took it literal. On every aspect of my life, I took it literal. Well, when I get back into the swing of things this week, just like my kiddo had a really tough week getting back into a routine at school, I, myself, mentally was getting back into my routine. And it took a toll on me. And it was almost a rude lesson and awakening of like, okay, so what you took a holiday off? So what you took a season off? Your body didn't. And guess what? Now you're dealing with it. And I got a runny nose. It's very cold here today. And it made me think about, what am I doing with my life? I started heavily getting back into my meditations this week and becoming back into that Zen self where I'm completely clearing my mind and listening to my energy frequencies and understanding where I need to be. What are my spirit's guides calling me to do? Where is that purpose? Where is that drive? And as I push forward to get back into my lifestyle, into my routine, whether it was my supplements or my smoothies or my meditations, even starting yoga again, even beginning to drink lemon water before coffee in the morning, which was a really hard change, believe it or not. It was the last month I've been waking up and having coffee right away, and it's been phenomenal, and I've loved it. But my body and my gut can't handle that. So what can I do differently? Well, I can get back into a routine where I'm drinking water every morning before I have my coffee. It's not rocket science. Come on, Mo. It's not rocket science. And as I continued into this journey to reawaken what I've already awoke in myself and getting back into that routine, getting back into what I know, what is my peace, right? Because that's a big part of this whole journey is I now have boundaries. I know that it's okay to isolate myself and be with myself. I know it's okay to be at peace. I know I don't have to answer everyone and everything about every question and every rumor and every version of gossip out there about me. I don't have to do any of that. I don't have to make an explanation if I don't want to. And that's been such an amazing awakening in this process of healing for me is I don't have to listen to anyone anymore. I don't have to do it. I can do me. I can know what's best for me and my purpose and listen to the people that I feel are genuine mentors in my life who are helping me and guiding me in the direction of not only my purpose, but my evolvement, my growth, my mindset. I can do all those things. And so just tracking back the fact that I started to reopen myself again, The most amazing thing happened on Thursday. A most amazing thing. On Thursday, I had several different women reach out to me for guidance. It was genuinely the best day I've had of 2022. Because that's where I feel like I get my cup full. Is when women reach out to me like, hey, I just need you to listen. I just need another woman to listen to me and help validate with me. My feelings are validated. My emotions are validated. What I'm going through is validated. And it's something I know is in my purpose. Because as women, we are constantly fighting for attention. We're constantly in this space of needing to be better than men, while also feeling like our biggest competition is other women, while also trying to maintain healthy relationships with other women without the toxicities of jealousy and hate, or feeling small next to another woman who may be more successful than you. There's constantly this push and pull to be a woman on all levels. And so part of my purpose that I know I'm here for is to be a listener, to validate other women's feelings, to let them know it's okay. You're going to get through this. That dream you had? Yeah. Guess what it means? A, B, and C. It means renewal. It means rebirth. It means moving up. It means maintaining your garden, that dream you had. That moment when you realize you need to leave a city to restart your life, go do it. Let's do it together. The moment you wake up after a heavy meditation and understand your purpose and your calling, and you want to share that with me, let's get through it. Let's make a checklist. What marketing tools, where we need to go, who do we need to call, how can we make this work for you? I thrive on helping other women. Do you know why? Do you know the real reason behind that? It's because no woman has ever helped me. And I think to myself, what would I like to be that I wish I had my entire life? And how can I be that? Simply enough, who can I be for myself, as well as be there in a way that I wish I had for myself years ago, or last month, or last week, and be that for other women. Yeah, I know there's men out there, and we can talk about balancing the two and equality, and I can be there for men, but that's not really my call, though. No. As women, especially when we're in the workplace, we're in corporate America, it's really hard for us to show our emotions because we have to be strong. If we want to make it, if we want to get to the top with that man next to us who's VP or president and we want to surpass them or take their place, we can't show emotion, because guess what? The moment we show emotion, the moment is being told to us, are you pregnant? Are you PMSing? You're too sensitive. You're too emotional. When was it okay that we have to take emotion and sensitivity out of every fucking thing in our life? Because that's what's come down to. Oh, only show happiness. Only show stability. Oh, only show the best parts of your life. Fuck that. We've come into such an illusion of a reality that isn't even ours anymore. Main sources are media and social media, that it looks down upon if we even show the slightest bit of emotion, the slightest bit of sensitivity. And as women, not only is that looked down upon now, but now we're being asked personal questions about our health. Oh, are you seeing a therapist? Is it that time of the month? Did you miss a period? Are you pregnant? Like, why can't we be emotional, people? Because it's shunned. It's like, we can't be that anymore. Over the weekend, I saw the movie Don't Look Up. It's on Netflix with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence and several other mainstream actors and actresses. And it was such a beautiful representation of that. It was such a beautiful representation and metaphor of the reality of which we actually do live in right now. How the media controls exactly what we see. Social media controls the information we hear. And we believe it all. I mean, I feel so bad for our celebrities now. They can't have a personal life. And if they do, and they do something wrong, for God's sakes, they're the fucking devil or a cheater or the worst individual in the world or shallow or the list continues of negativity on just one or two celebrities without realizing all the good that they do that isn't even shown because the media doesn't want to show you the charity work they do, the nonprofits they've helped start, the time spent with their kids, the time spent with their family. They don't want you to see any of that. They want you to see the glitz and the glamour and the designer dresses and who's dating who. They don't want you to see raw reality of what it means to be a fucking human. They want you to want that lifestyle of being a celebrity. And it's just, it's exhausting. And this ties into exactly looking back 10 years ago for me personally, what it meant to be 22. What it meant to be 22. And I'm going to get right back with you. Just 1 second. All right. Sorry, guys. I do my podcast from home. It's not always perfect. And I just had one of those moments. I had accidentally locked my cat in my bedroom, so she was banging on the door. My dog was barking, and it was just a moment where I was like, I can't keep talking. I gotta fix this. Gotta let my cat out. Otherwise, my dog's gonna think someone's here. Anyhow, so Don't Look Up was a great symbolism and representation of how the world is perceived today, with the illusion of reality that the media and social media is giving us and the information that is given. So much so that we don't look up anymore. So much so, how many of us truly understand the extreme... How many of us understand the extreme poverty that is going on right now? How many of us genuinely understand the climate change that is happening right now? How many of us genuinely understand the dark web and trafficking that is happening right now? Probably not a lot of us, huh? Because the illusion of reality that we're supposed to portray, especially on the celebrity status, is very different than actually how we live our life and what we do with that. I mean, how many of you know the celebrities who have put forth hundreds, if not millions of dollars, thousands and millions of dollars to building nonprofits to causes that they care about? Probably not a lot of us, huh? How many of us know of celebrities who are not leaving millions of dollars to their family and putting that money towards their charity work or causes when they die? Teaching their families and kids how to find their purpose and make a living without living off the idea that they're going to be able to live off mommy and daddy's money the rest of their life. Because that's actually happening and it's amazing. Probably not a lot of us. And as I was watching Don't Look Up and understanding this metaphor and understanding the symbolism behind this movie, which is phenomenally written and well cast, it made me think about 10 years ago. Which ironically, this weekend was a big trend for the 10-year challenge. You know, looking back 10 years to where you are today. And I was looking back at a photo of me when I had bleach blonde hair. And I was doing Teen Vogue and having this small bit of fame and working my way up the ladder and doing Italia Vogue, which is a online source of Vogue. Not like Italian Vogue, but an online source of Vogue. and really trying to make a name for myself back then. And I was looking at this picture. To me, it just looked like a fictional character. I don't know that woman anymore. I don't know that girl anymore. And it also led into this domino effect of, everyone may know my story. I'm a sex trafficking survivor, yes. I've been through the pits of hell, yes. I've been raped, abused, imprisoned, yes. But how many of you actually know what I've witnessed? Not many of you. I may express my stories and what's happened to me personally in my body and where I was mentally, but I've never really gotten into the expression of helping anyone understand what I've witnessed. And that's a fault on me. Because there was an illusion of reality that I was living in my 20s, in my 5 minutes of fame, that illusion was just that, an illusion. I wanted you to think I was becoming famous or had some fame to my name. I wanted you to believe that I was having the best time of my life and going to the clubs and traveling and partying with DJs and just living a party lifestyle. I did. I wanted you to think that this life that I had was reckless and fun and no one's going to judge me and I don't give a fuck, right? And it's because of that attitude that's what led into my title of the book that I'm writing called Fuck It. Because that was genuinely my thought process, was fuck it. So what if I have 3 boyfriends? Fuck it. So what, I've been raped? Fuck it. My body's now been used. I'll just continue to have it be used. Fuck it. I was genuinely in a fuck it lifestyle on all levels of my life. And it's because of that, it led me down a really dark path. It's because of that, I was put in situations I should have never had put myself through, but I was at a place of vulnerability and not giving a fuck. I didn't care about my health. I didn't care about my mental health. I didn't care. I just wanted to keep the fame and be a Monica. Or other names I had. I had a name Phoebe, which is going to be new information for a lot of you because I've never actually expressed that name before, my alias. But I was Phoebe for a long time. And there was another name attached to that. Not just Phoebe. So people are out there trying to Google that. There's more to that. Anyways. I witnessed a lot while living in DC. And it still makes me emotional that things are starting to blossom and people are starting to really see the true pedophiles, the ones that we've looked up to as role models or celebrities, right? And we're starting to actually put forth the law on those who may have seemed powerful 10 years ago, now are being found guilty. It's a really powerful change happening right now. Huge. And if you're in my shoes and you've been through what I've been through in life, these small steps are huge steps for me. Do you know the first time I went to the cops and told them that I was raped, that the person had so much power that they stated if I came out with this or even tried to take this person to court, that they could come back at me and saying that I was selling myself for sex and that I played a huge part on this action that was taken on me. So I was told to be silent. And when I was told to be silent, I allowed that same powerful man to have sex with me several times after that. Because I didn't care. I had to be silent, so I might as well take advantage of it. and continued to be pounded. I didn't care. And that was the domino effect from then on out. I stopped caring about myself. I was physically harming myself without harming myself. For those who follow my story, that may make sense. I was controlled by the rich and powerful in DC as a sex puppet. And it feels so good to say that out loud. I've never said that out loud. I was a sex puppet. And a lot of powerful men knew it. And they took advantage of that, and I got paid for it. There are going to be some out there going to be like, oh, that's prostitution. And some of these men played themselves out to be photographers as a hobby so they could take photos of pretty women. But they worked for the government. They made lots of money. So at the end of some of these photo shoots, I could get paid extra to do A, B, or C sexually, as long as I didn't say anything. And they would have blackmail on me. Blackmail that would carry on to the point that people learned I was pregnant in that industry, and I got death threats when they learned I was pregnant and starting my life over. They were in fear of their life that I was going to come clean with everything. Now, not every photographer was like that. There were two sides to my life then. There was the professional modeling side that I genuinely loved. Creating stories, enjoying fashion, being in editorial pieces and magazines and websites, and genuinely loving what I did. Because I did. I loved modeling. It had been part of me since I was very young, and I had a true, genuine passion for modeling. I loved creating stories. I loved bringing emotion to the camera. I love looking through the lens and feeling like the audience was on the other side of that camera and I was telling the story. But then there was another side, the sexual side, the fetish side, the pornography side, that controlled me too. I didn't love it, but it made good money. And anytime I felt like I was going to get out of it, I was blackmailed. That sucked. Being blackmailed. Being told personal information of your life that you thought no one knew that they found out of, and they were going to use that against you, which bring fear into your life, wouldn't it? It did mine. But in my time, I witnessed sex clubs for the rich and powerful, fetish balls, and fetish events and parties for the rich and powerful. Huge orgies for the rich and powerful. I witnessed it all and was part of it all. Private strip clubs for the rich and powerful. You had to have a membership to get in. They were like speakeasies, but for sex. And that's where our money's going. And it's still going on. Trafficking is still happening. Everywhere. Not just in our country, but fucking everywhere. And there's so many versions of trafficking. There's sex, there's labor, there's human, there's child. It's everywhere, people. Wake the fuck up. And I witnessed it in my 20s. And I know I've said this several times over, but it's so true. When I ended up in the hospital because my body couldn't take anymore, I was really hoping that was it. I was really hoping I was done and my life was going to be over. I was over it. I was over it. But now I really feel like this universe, we're in a time of an awakening. That wounds are going to be opened. The people who need to be put behind bars are really going to be put behind bars. That we are truly shifting and making a difference. And I'm going to do my part. And I continue to try to do my part. Not just for me, but for my own kid. I have a responsibility to change the world for my kid. To make a difference for my child. So she doesn't have to live the way I did. So she doesn't have to live in fear. I feel like she can't speak up. I'm going to teach her that she has a voice. I'm going to teach her how to use that voice. I'm going to help her find her purpose and what is best for her. And I'm going to help her understand that to thrive in your purpose is to thrive genuinely in yourself. You know, looking back on that 10-year challenge, and I looked back at that blonde, that 22-year-old blonde, and recognizing I can't see that person anymore. I don't know who she is. And seeing who I am today, that in itself was a rude awakening in such a beautifully spiritual way. Because I'm glowing more. You see, I look at those photos in modeling, and though I had a sex appeal and sold sex well, I know I did that well. There wasn't really much behind those eyes. But now I can look into my eyes, and I can see wisdom. I can see my purpose. I can see my drive, my passion, where I'm headed, all through my eyes now. The eyes I see from my past, I don't see any of that. And I allowed, and because of such toxic behavior, I allowed myself in toxic relationships over and over and over again. I will tell you, we're in Vulnerable Monday, so I will tell you straight up, when I learned I was pregnant, I should have just stayed by myself. I should have figured it out on my own and continued down the path to be a single mom. I should have not gone the path I did. I should not have gotten married. I should have done any of that, because it was only putting myself back into toxic patterns again. It was only putting myself through another toxic relationship again. And it would be after I left him and started over that I would continue down that pattern of toxic relationships up through this past year, 2021, when I finally felt like I released all that. And once I did, some of you know, I genuinely found my soulmate. I found my partner. The universe finally, I won't say finally gave me my partner, but the universe gave me my partner. I was like, okay, you've done the homework. You've done the work. You've recognized your boundaries. You know when to speak up. You know when you've had enough. You've done the work. Okay. Here you go. And he is the best person to ever walk in my life. And is exactly everything I manifested and needed as a man in my life. And we don't need men in our life. I get it. We're women. We're strong. We're independent. We don't need it. But for me, relationships have always been about friendship too. And so though my pattern has been toxic, and though I've been through several toxic relationships, some of them haven't been toxic. Some of them have been good, but they've been good. And I haven't known how, and though they've been good, I personally haven't known how to nurture those healthy relationships. And so eventually they would fail because I didn't know how to take care of them properly, love them properly. Well, whereas now I'm in a healthy relationship. This is my soulmate. And I'm recognizing how I need to nurture, take care of, and communicate with. 5 years ago, I didn't know how to do that. Hell, 2 years ago, I didn't know how to do that. And the person who walked in my life a few months ago walked into my life 2 years ago, it wouldn't have worked out. It wouldn't have worked out. I was still on a toxic pattern journey. And there's some been really good men in my life that have come in who have genuinely wanted to love me, and I've messed it up. A lot of truth is coming out today. I've witnessed a lot in life. Started at a very young age. And I never want to get to a place again where I lose myself so much that I don't even know how to handle my own emotions. And I've said this before, in my past, I was a cold-hearted bitch. 100%. I was only in it for myself. And it's so exciting today, talking with you, that I'm now in a place where I can state, no, I'm in it for everyone else. It's time to be a voice for other women. It's time to be a voice for myself. It's time to grow. It's time to be in my emotions and be okay with that. It's time to be sensitive. It's time to feel. Fucking feel. Feel in here. Seriously. Feel in here. It's amazing. You should try it sometime. All that takes time. And it doesn't happen overnight. No. It takes hard work, dedication, meditation, therapy, life coaching, journaling. Hell, make a podcast. But last week was a journey. It's almost like I was grieving. As though I was grieving over the last year and all the ups and downs on the roller coaster of life. And letting go of all of it. To open myself up and make room for new. Make room for 2022. Truly and genuinely make room for 2022. It's pretty exciting stuff, huh? And you can do it too. You can start making those little changes and pivots for your life. As many of you know, my first pivot was finding a therapist to listen, who was with me for 4 years. Every week for 4 years. It's pretty awesome. That was my stepping stone. My stepping in the right direction. You got this. You can do it too. All it takes is just a little bit belief in yourself, a support system that has your back, and you can do it too. You can begin your healing. You can begin the process of grieving. You can let go and be renewed. Go through a rebirth. Be spiritually woke. You can do it. I have faith in you. Until next week on Vulnerable Mondays with Mo, have a beautiful week. And continue to shine the way you deserve to shine. Don't let anyone dim that. Bye, guys.